I'm trying to. All righty, we're on. It said browser failed, so it didn't want to go to the other one really, really fast. So, hello everybody. We've got Helen PN. Hello, Helen. We're just going to give it a few minutes. Drew's sharing
Welcome,
out.
everybody.
Hey, Helen.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
And then we'll give Drew a minute, and then we'll start introducing ourselves to the new people that's coming in. And before we start doing that, since we're waiting for Drew to share it out too, I just wanted to say thank you to all my subscribers that I've had for a good while. I've been picking up a lot of new subscribers lately, so I wanted to say thank you for that. And also, Christy's in. Hey, Christy.
Hello, Christy.
And also,
sweet.
too, I know I'm picking up a lot of subscribers from Sherry's channel and Drew's channel. So thank you very much, and I appreciate you jumping over onto my channel. And so while we're waiting on Drew is my co-host. My guest is Sherry. While we're waiting on Drew, you're still sharing it out, Drew, or are you finished?
Yeah, I'm finished.
Oh, okay. So we'll let Drew introduce herself and her channel, and then we'll let Sherry introduce herself and her channel.
Welcome in, everybody. My name is Andrina. My friends do call me Drew. I do have a witch name, which is Athena. So any of those names are welcome. I am from Scotland, as you probably know by the accent. I have got 2 channels that I run, which is Broomsticks and Pentagrams, which I'll be doing a lot more witchy stuff over there. And I have my Drew's Abandoned Paranormal vlog, which I'll be doing a lot more paranormal. Once it kind of gets a bit more warmer, but just keep an eye out on my channel, my both channels, guys, and a bit of paranormal, a bit of witchcraft, and a bit of support usually on my channels. So thank you for coming aboard. Blessings.
Drew, did you want to say your 3 channels? Did you say all 3?
I don't really use the other one for much. I usually just use the thrifty witchy one for. I'm going to start vlogging and things over there in the summer,
Okay.
so it's not really an active channel right now. It will be active at some point.
Okay, alrighty. And then we have Sherry.
Hello, I'm Sherry, also known as Willow for my witch name. I practice in witchcraft and shaman work. I'm an investigator like the sisters. I have a channel that has lots of different things on it. I do meditations and music streams, uplifting streams, paranormal talks. So yeah, a bit of everything. So please come over and support me as well, and support the ladies, and lots of love and blessings.
Thank you. And of course, I'm Mystical Love and Light. My first name is Rochelle. My last name is Tanel. I also do paranormal investigations. I'm a spiritual being. We do all kind, and I say the word we because we're all kind of in the same category on things that we do, which is the paranormal, doings, workings, which / spells. We help people with prayers and stuff like that. I make a lot of oils and powders and show a whole lot of different things on my channel. I've got, I don't know, I think right under maybe 800 videos on my channel about everything in the magical garden and the dogs and just the family vlog that I just kind of share out, because some people just want to go, hey, I wonder what they're up to. Hey, Carrie.
Hello, Carrie.
So yeah, so if you see me the way I am right now, this room is extremely cold, so I am all bundled up. And if you see me jumping up and leaving in the middle of a conversation or something, we've got the fireplace going, and I'll be going and checking the fireplace. The dogs are in because it's super duper cold, freezing outside. The dogs are in, settled in. The cat is in, settled in. Lee is in the front room watching this video, and he tends to forget about the fire.
Welcome, Mr. Lee.
So,
hello, Mr. Lee.
So, I will be jumping up every so often and going and checking the fireplace and making sure that it's still going. So thank you
It's not
everybody
nodded
for
off.
coming in. Make sure you hit the
Bye,
like
everybody.
and please subscribe to all of our channels and to each other's channels. And if anybody wants to put their own link in, feel free to. We don't have an issue with it at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I said
We
my
can
spiel.
take questions and things tonight if you want. Tonight is just a little bit of a chit chat and a catch up. So, any questions, get them in the chat. We'll answer
Watch
some
that
questions if you
creepy
like.
evil growl video, Sherry. Oh yeah, the one for my house
Yeah.
cleansing and there was several spirits in that house that weren't very nice that we had to remove. And yeah, there
Maybe
was
you
a
should tell
growl.
some of the people about it that don't know you.
Yeah, because
Well,
I don't what video I missed something. I haven't been able to
well,
keep
there's a
up with
short.
videos.
There's a short on my channel. If you go to it, it's to do with one of the house investigations that I done. I think I'd been on YouTube probably about 2.5 years when this went on. I'd met somebody through the chat. Her name was Vanessa, and she'd been having some problems in her home and that. We were like friends and we got to know each other. I started picking up on a few things in her house and she'd been having some problems. And the activity just got so out of place in the end that I had to go up there to help her because she had at the time a 5-year-old daughter. So she was really young and she was having interaction with these spirits. She was putting this food down for what she thought was a dog. And it actually turned out to be a hound that was with one of the negative energies that had come. And it was showing to her as not
Like a
being negative.
hellhound?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because sometimes, like when you come across negative energies, they have like them sort of dogs to sniff out the locations that they're going to. So that's what happened. So they were there. Obviously, I'd picked up on all of this stuff when I got there, but I was picking up on stuff when she would come on videos. And I got attacked by the energy at her house in my house. It come through the stream because she was on like a panel. And I'd got upside down crosses on my neck and stuff like that. Like at first it was just a scratch to my neck and nothing else. And then I was on a video call with someone and they were like, Sherry, what's that turning up on your neck?
Oh,
said,
so
"What you
that
on
was the
about?"
cause of all of that?
There's
Okay.
upside down crosses going on your neck.
Okay.
And I'm like, wow, really? And then like when
Hey,
I
pizza
looked, you
demon.
could see it all coming into the skin.
Hi, pizza.
And it blistered all around my neck to the point that there was no skin left. It was just flesh. I still, even though I'd had that attack, I still said that I was going to go up there and I was going to get rid of this energy. I'd done some stuff to try and treat the neck. When I was up there, even though it was sore and that, it didn't seem to be too bad apart from on the day of the investigation, because obviously these energies weren't happy about me being there. And I was in the loft when that growl was caught. We'd been and removed 4 energies from the downstairs, including any of the good spirits or anything that wanted to be sent over. And there was one negative energy left, which was the main one, and he was in the loft.
Yeah.
And I had to bring out Aura and everything. Aura had to come up there with me into the loft to help to get rid of him. And we were doing rituals, which is why you'll hear music in it, because you can't hear what I'm saying to the energy, because that's sacred. So you see that, and then you see where I get wedged in the actual attic. It had hold of my legs and I couldn't move, and somebody had to come up and get me out. And you see the shadow, you see a shadow coming up over the top of me, and that's when you all hear the growl. But on the investigation itself, after coming out of that loft, I landed in the star, the pentagram.
Yeah, it was fun.
Which I shouldn't have done. It should have been him landing in the pentagram, but the way that I come out the loft, I landed in it and he took me over, and there was a full possession. And the whole family were like freaking out. People witnessed loads of stuff going on. I was talking in tongue. And I made non-believers believers after they see that night. And luckily I had 2 other investigators with me, which were able to pray over me and help me to get the energy out and stuff like that.
Okay,
it
so
was a crazy investigation.
Okay, so keep telling us the whole story, because I remember you talking about the story, because I didn't know you back then, but I never knew there was a video on it. I want to watch that video, girl. Okay, so now finish.
There's like a couple of like little, there's like one short on there, and if you go and look through my playlist, there's 2 that it says like the haunted house or the devil house. There's two of them. They're about 20 minutes and 17 minutes, something like that. and that's where we're doing like the talking. One video's after I'd been possessed and after I'd been sorted out, and I explained that all of the energies are gone. The other one was before, but yeah, I was up there, and obviously we got rid of them in the end. I'd had a death symbol wrote up onto the window from the negative energy before all of them had been released. There was a death symbol with my name in the middle of it. It just got put onto the window because obviously these energies weren't happy about me being there. They were aware that I was coming up, and like I said, I made some non-believers believers from that night. After that happening, I went on for several months after that. I was very sick from the attack that I'd had. What I believe happened is after removing him, he somehow found a way of coming back to me, and that attachment become to me for a while, and the neck got worse. The burn into my neck got worse. I tried holy water. I tried cleansing, blessings. I tried everything to try and get rid of this, whatever was around me, but he wasn't budging. And it got to a point where the poisoning got so bad in my neck. I didn't know it was poisoning at the time, obviously. I'd been to the chemist and tried to get creams and things like that. I ended up having to go to hospital because after going into the chemist, I felt a bit dizzy and a bit faint. And I managed to get home, but I wasn't reacting properly. I was really sick. So I phoned for the ambulance to come and get me. And I was very close to getting blood poisoning. So I wouldn't be here to tell you the story today if it wasn't for what I believe Aura was keeping me as well as she could up to that point. You know what I mean? Because I should have been dead, really, because I'd left it thinking it was just that. So obviously I've gone to the doctors. They put me on some medication. They was able to help that. Obviously the swelling and the stuff on my neck still weren't properly going down. So I tried all of the cleansings and blessing stuff again. And it worked then. And I was able to remove him. And touch wood, I've had nothing else to do with him, which is good.
I never knew there was I never knew anything about that. As much as I've heard you talk about it, I never knew that there was videos out there.
It was a really bad one.
I'm definitely bad.
It was really bad.
Those up. Yeah, Helen, she said, she says,
it was about two or three.
Okay.
It was about 2 or 3 months of preparation for me to go up and do that investigation. So I had to have all these different rituals and things I had to do because there was different energies there. You know what I mean? So it was a long one.
Hey, Eli. Hey, Phoenix. I said Phoenix earlier, but I said it real low, so I wasn't interrupting. Sherry, on her story, she was telling us. Let's see. Helen has a question here. And we'll see. We'll start with Sherry, see if she wants to answer it, and then and Drew, and then we'll see. So it says, when I call out spirits from family, can I call for bad spirits to come in? Are we reading that right? Can I call for bad spirits to come in?
Can I call in spirits, bad spirits to come in that I do not know they are there? Well, my advice to you about that, sweetheart, it's always fine to communicate with your family and to call out to your family, but always remember that you do protection around you. So
okay, she says that Sherry, she says that I do not want. She says I do not want. So I think it just said he'd come out different on there. Okay, go ahead.
Right here.
On further down, she says I do not want. Right here.
This should be right here, guys.
Okay.
So are you saying that you're trying to communicate with your family, but you do not want the negative energies?
I think that's what she's saying.
Right. Well, this is what I'm explaining. So when you are talking and communicating and calling out to your loved ones, always remember to put protection up. So your candles, incense, normally like lavenders and jasmine, sages, and the Palo Santo woods are really good to use for when you're communicating. Putting crystals like amethyst. I even put rose quartz down because I think that's a very good one for protection. You can have your tourmaline and them sort of energy crystals, tourmaline, black onyx, that keeps negative energy away. So when you're communicating things around, you can put music on, do a prayer. make sure you do a prayer. But what you're doing at the beginning, you do at the end as well. So you'll do the little ritual, you'll call out to your family, and you always say, I call out to good energy of my family. I do not welcome, invite negative or evil spirits into my home. And then you can do like a Lord's Prayer or a prayer of your choice of protection, and you go on with your session. You'll say, I open this circle for communication with my family and good energy only. They'll come through, communicate with you. You just say, I close this circle of communication. I close all communication with the other side. Amen. So more it be, whatever it is you want to say. Then obviously you'll do the ritual again. You'll put the candle on,
Hey,
the
Iron.
incense. You'll do your prayer for goodbye, and you'll thank them for coming, and that'll be it. You just say that this communication is over, goodbye, and do your prayer, do your cleansing, and you should be fine. You know, it's not bad to communicate with your loved ones. There are ways and things you can say to keep the negative away. That's what you have to do. And now over to Sister.
Drew, do you have anything to add to that?
And just keep a positive outlook as well. Keep positive. Don't let the fear take over you in any situation as well. Try and keep an upbeat feeling in things. And use things that you feel protected from. If there's something that you can look at, you think protection, use that as well. It's all about how you relate to something. So if you feel something says more of a protection than a crystal, then use that, because that energy of that will be what will help you. I think the Furby videos on the Mysticals channel. No, on your channel where we interviewed Chris
Sherry,
and
are you muted?
Are you on about the Christine video, or are you on about the one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's talking about.
Luna.
I think she does. Yeah.
So
either of them are not on my channel. No, you'd have to go over to the channels.
Were they? Was it one of my lives when that
No,
happened?
when we spoke about the Furby, I think it was you, Sister. Was it?
I think it was.
Yes.
We interviewed Christine and Bree.
Come up with Mystical and Drew.
It was either Drew's channel or my channel. I can't remember, to be honest, but now I'm thinking it might have been Drew's. I'm trying to picture where everybody was at, and I think Drew was the host.
Let me check.
And then me and Sherry was on there. And Sherry, you were up at the top, I think, and I was at the bottom. So I think that was Drew's channel. Lord,
yeah,
we bounced on each other's channel. I think it was on Drew's channel. Yeah.
I do remember it, because I'm sure I remember Drew reposting it out, but saying interview that went horribly wrong, something like that. Like,
yeah, because she said cleanse.
It was Drew's channel, I think. Yeah,
because she was saying to cleanse yourself before you watch the video. It was on Drew's channel.
Yeah,
and Helen, to finish that up, yes, you always want to.
What happened?
Yeah, you always want to. Sorry, you always want to say, Helen, that whenever you call upon whoever you're calling upon, you are not allowing any negative energies. Even if it's a negative family member, you don't want them to come in. That, But everything else is, just like what Sherry said, she kind of covered it all. And then Drew, just protect yourself before and protect yourself afterwards. But in between, you can say no, and negative energies are allowed to come in. Do the same thing too when you get ready to go to bed. And if you're going to say, okay, during my sleep, if any of my spirits want to come in and pass any messages, you need to also at that time say no, negative energies are allowed to come in, because they will come in too in your dreams. So So I think we got the Furby thing straightened up. I think that's on Drew's
I'll find it, guys.
And then I think the pizza, let's see, somebody
else had...
Kirsty said what happened.
Yeah, things turned bad on our chit-chat with Brie and Chris. I've named it.
Let me find... there was another one. Okay, right here.
What happened or something?
Okay, for Pizza Demon, it says, is there anything in your chosen field that would make you give up what you do? Not for me, because I've done it my whole life. I was kind of born into all this, so not for me. What
No,
about? Okay.
not at all. Mate, like,
That's the one thing
I
the
think the
stream.
closest I've got to actually leaving was actually the attack. I did sit there and think about it for a little bit, but in the end, it really just made me really intrigued even more to why they act like that and why they do those sort of things. So I don't think there's anything that would ever make me give it up. Definitely not.
Drew, was there anything in your chosen field that would make you give up what you do?
No, I don't. I think if I brought something here really bad, I think I would reconsider doing this in my home. But as for giving it up altogether, I don't think that would ever happen. It's just who I am, guys. It's just who I am. But if I
Exactly.
brought something here, I think I would reconsider doing it in my house.
Yeah. See, and with me, in my situation, I deal a lot with outside of my perimeter. So all of my perimeter is protected. The only ones that's allowed in my perimeter are specific angels, guides, guardians, and ancestors that I call upon. Um, so everything else stays out. So I am so protected. It is unbelievable. Drew knows and Sherry knows what is around. They know what
Yeah.
is around and they know why I keep my protection up.
Oh yeah.
But even then, there is nothing that so far, and I'm what, 60, how old am I? 64 years old, that I've not run across stuff that would make me give
You've got
anything
to
up,
remember
really.
as well, our guides protect us for a lot of that.
Hmm.
If you've
Yeah.
got a good relationship with your guides, they already know the things that's going to scare you and the things that you're not going to be scared from. So technically, you're relying on them to keep anything negative away from you that will typically scare you, attach to you, scratch you. So your guides already know, whenever you're going anywhere, I always communicate with my guides, no matter where I'm going. If I'm going to be going somewhere to do tarot readings, if I'm going somewhere to do an investigation, I always make sure I light up my altar and I communicate with my ancestors, my deities, my spirit guides. I even
Hey,
call in the
Evie,
4 elements, always say, by the power of earth, the force
Callie.
of fire, the elation of air, and the vitality of water. And I bring all that with me, guys. So trust your guides is my opinion.
Hmm.
Welcome in, everybody.
That's
Yeah.
good. It means that's those spells and stuff last night must have been working, because we did do prayers for the community for like vision and wisdom and insight and stuff. So it's really good that
Mm-hmm.
you had a dream, Evie. That's really good.
Brilliant.
And yeah,
Everybody
that's the
is taking
first
in our
video.
growth. It's so strange. Everybody in our community, I don't know if it's all over the communities, but everybody in our community right now has took that stretch and they've actually went up a level. And with a lot of them, it's clear.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Eva.
Hmm.
See with me, because you're going to watch that video now, because Sis put it in the room, and obviously Sister's talking about energies and like our energies keep certain energies away. There was a negative energy that took this over, but that what you got to remember is like, because for people that are new and don't really know me, I do see and feel spirit, and I can also channel spirit, and sometimes it's out of mine and my guide's hands at that time if that spirit jumps me or not, which is what happened on this
Yeah.
stream. So you're going to see that. You're going to see me start acting rather weird. When I start rocking, Sherry's going into something. Drew is able to tell when
I
something's
can
going to happen.
tell she's going to
You know,
do it.
you know what I mean? She said it the other day. She goes, "It looked like you was going to go on
I
Luna's
thought she was
show,"
going to start
and I
channeling.
did. I did feel something. You know what I mean? But I wasn't letting it happen.
Yeah. You'll
But
get
yeah,
to spot it, guys. See, with
you're
things like that, where Sherry was attached, you've got to remember our guides are not perfect either. There is things
no.
that can put a different face and things on that maybe fool your guides for a split second. That'll just let them in the door.
It only
So
takes
our
that
guides
split
are not
second.
perfect,
Yeah, it only takes that split second to go into
Yeah.
someone. You know what I mean? But I wasn't like, even though I was like taken over and stuff, I wasn't in danger or anything. You know what I mean? You could see that
Mm-mm.
it's clearly the sisters were like talking it through, and Aura was keeping it at bay, so nothing really bad happened. But
Yeah.
there was a few growls and stuff like that, and I looked strange, but don't let it alarm you. It's just welcome to Sherry's world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of the game, guys. It's part
Yeah.
of what we do. You always take that chance that something's going to happen. But to me, I've just got every faith in my guides. I've got every faith in the process that I go through before I go anywhere. I trust the process and I trust them, and that will keep me safe until it doesn't keep me safe, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then
And
we'll
it's the
feel
same
where,
with me. I trust my guides. I wouldn't let the spirits do what they do if I didn't have my guides. You know what I mean? If I didn't
yeah,
trust them. So I must trust them enough if there's a negative energy jumping me that they've not completely caught onto, that I trust them with everything that they are. You know what I mean? I know they'll
yeah.
sort it out. So, and
And
they have
use your
without
totem
care.
animals. Use your
Totally.
totem animals. Look, I've got Roger. Roger is my raven. I can send Roger. See if I was wanting to go to Birkwood, for example, on a whim, I could say to Roger or Timber, can you go down there, take a scoot around and see if there's anything that maybe I shouldn't be going right now at? And then 99% of the time, you will get the idea in your head of what your totem animal is trying to tell you, a yes or a no. You have to trust that voice in your head that you know is your guide. And most of the time, if you do that, send them out to see something. Before I go home in an investigation, I always send Billy or Stephen out to make sure there's no lost souls on the place that we are. So it's all about trusting them, trusting the words that you hear in your mouth, your head and things, and you will get used to all that.
So
It
Pizza
definitely
Demon,
worked for me. I found my copper goddess necklace
There
that
you
I lost.
go,
Oh wow, that's good.
brilliant.
so have y'all read this one yet? I just came back, so I don't know. Where
It's
Pizza
the
Demon says, if the
opportunity.
opportunity presented itself, what would you consider the ultimate personal investigation and where? For me, it's not one specific place, because when you go do investigations, say like Sherry or Drew, for example, could go to a place and nothing happened, and then I could go and all kinds of things happen, or the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I went to go do an investigation at a certain place, nothing happened, and then they could go and all kinds of things would happen. So even if you hear people saying they get a lot of like investigative stuff going on, it doesn't mean you're going to get it when you go. Or the
Mm-hmm.
other way, if they're like, I ain't going over there no more, nothing happened, it was dead, a whole wasted night, and then you could go and all of the spirits there want to communicate with you.
They're
So,
all there.
yeah, they're like, eh. So for me, I don't think there's a special place, because to me, every place I go is special on seeing, what the spirits want to
Yeah.
communicate and tell their stories. What about y'all?
When you go, sis.
I know this sounds like a weird sort of investigation thing, but it's something I've always wanted to do, not just because of investigations, but my spirituality as well. I've always wanted to go to Stonehenge. I've always
Yeah.
wanted to go to Stonehenge. There's just something about that place that pulls me every time I look at it. It's just like, because it's meant to be very spiritual and very beautiful there as well, and it's
Yes.
ancient, and it's meant to have a lot of different energy, including the Fae and stuff like that. So that would be my place for investigation and spirituality, of all
Hmm.
places.
Yes.
Yeah,
Plus, the whole alien aspect of it
and the
too
alien.
plays a
That's what I mean.
part.
Anything strange
Oh.
Plays a
unknown
part
on
into
there.
that.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
of that goes on there. Yeah.
yeah. What about you, Drew?
For all the castles and things that I've ever went to, I must admit, the one that I would love to walk around is the one in England at the their main castle. What do you call it? I always
Buckingham
forget the name
Palace,
of it. The one, no, the
Buckingham
other one
Palace,
that's in the other
Windsor,
one,
Windsor.
Windsor. I've always wanted to walk through the Windsor grounds. If anybody doesn't know Windsor Castle, it's quite big. It's quite big grounds. I've always wanted to walk through there just to see if it's. I don't know. It's just one of those castles I want to investigate. But if it was a somewhere like spiritual to connect, I think I would really like to go to Pendle Hill just to see if I could connect with the people that was accused of being witches. Somewhere like that would be my ideal location.
Yeah. There's a few places on my list. Some of them are witchy aspects. How far is Stonehenge from you, Sherry? I would say it's probably about maybe about 3 hours, 4 hours away. It's not too far.
Really? 3 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
It's up near
close.
like sort of like it's up near like Gloucester and all that, where they have all of the Gloucester festivals, and it's around like that area
Oh,
sort of thing.
yeah. Yeah, we
Oh
could go easily.
wow.
You might even
Yeah.
go when I come
Get
downstairs.
on a train and just get a bus to the last bit. You know what I mean? It's not expensive.
Yeah. Okay, so Kelly has a question for me and says, "Have you been to Waverly Sanitarium?" No, I haven't, and the reason why is I try not to do any investigations in places that you have to pay. So unless I had a whole lot of money, and then I would just go do those. But I try to go to places that you don't have to pay, or that you're gonna go do an investigation in somebody's house because you're not charging them, and you do it that way. Um, I've been invited to go to certain places like in a group, but I don't want to do that either. I don't want to do the whole group thing. If it's just
Yeah, I
me
wouldn't
and
like to
say,
go to somewhere like that.
yeah, if it's just like a couple that's invited me to go places, like there is a friend of mine, Tony, she does investigations too, and she's invited like me and my husband to go with them when they're going to go and meet up and do an investigation in certain places.
Yeah.
That's great, and I plan on doing that with her sometime. But as far as going in groups or going to something like that to pay,
Mm.
for me it's I don't know, it's something about it that I back away from. That's just me.
Also, remember, guys, me personally, I'm the type of the paranormal investigator, ghost hunter. I want to connect with spirits that is you can get a bit of history and everything. See spirits that's like say from like Waverly Hills and things. I think that would be above my pay grade. I think it would need to be somebody
Okay,
like
Phoenix.
Mystical or Sherry who can communicate with the
Mm,
spirits on a level one to one. Because remember, a lot of the spirits in those locations have got deeper thoughts than us. So they're the type of spirits that maybe when they cross over, they turn a little bit bitter, or they can turn a little bit more difficult to cross over, if you like, without offending So me personally, I wouldn't like to go anywhere like that. I want to stay places that's kind of more
I don't.
positive, if you like, and a little bit easier to investigate.
I don't like paying for investigations, and to be quite honest, like
yep.
some of the places are really beautiful that you can go to. Yeah, they are, but I just don't agree with the whole layout of it, because they don't want to help those spirits to be at peace. They want them there for that sort of limelight. I'm not saying that in a horrible way. I know that there's some beautiful places you can get some amazing evidence, I'm sure, but I
Yeah.
can't be part of something where they don't want to help the spirits, because that's not who I am. I'd hate to think that I've paid for something where I know those spirits are still going to be stood there and not getting any
Mm-hmm.
help at the end of it. And half of the time they would tell you, even if you asked them, no, we don't want you cleansing or doing anything to the properties. We don't want the spirits being removed. And I don't agree in that. I would still do it. I'd tell them to like follow me and do it. And so
Mm-hmm.
I just don't take myself to those places because they irritate me. They
Mm-hmm.
do.
Yeah,
So,
it's not
so
nice.
for a lot of you people coming, you people, a lot, a lot of subscribers,
You
viewers come
people.
in, watching okay, you people.
You people.
Maybe I
You're
should
not.
say us people. Oh, but for some other people coming in that don't really know us, we crossover spirits. So what Sherry is referring to, in case you're not in pocket on that yet, a lot of places that we do investigations in, whether it's cemeteries or whatever, if we feel like we need to do a crossover, if there's spirits that are lost, they don't even know they've passed, they communicate with us, they want to tell the story, we'll also even check with them and ask if there's anybody there that wants to go ahead and cross over
Yeah.
after the investigation or everything, because we try to get their stories and stuff and see who wants to communicate with us. And sometimes you got some more evil spirits holding down the spirits that shy and quiet, and they're like on the lower part because they're scared and they hide. We will do crossovers. So as Sherry's
Yeah.
referring to, some of these places that you pay,
And
they
that's
don't
what I
want you
don't
to
like.
cross over. They
And
want
yeah,
those
you
spirits
don't.
there to to scare everybody or
If I
you know
wasn't that
what all.
inclined and I weren't about sending spirits over and stuff like that, then it'd be different. And another thing with it is it's my abilities as well, because I can see in that. I'll be able to see if there's like the good spirits there and if there's anything negative holding them. And I would want to help them, and them telling you no, you can't, we don't want you doing that. That I'd find myself in a really horrible situation,
Mhm.
which would probably end up with like a fist fight
Yeah,
or something, because I see it as well. So it's hard, like
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
don't put
And my
myself in that
apologies
situation.
to saying you people, meaning
I think
subscribers
it's
and
funny.
viewers.
We're all tough on us.
Our fam, but yeah, you people.
Yeah, because all our subscribers and viewers are precious to us.
Oh
And
yeah.
Yeah, you are
and I'm
precious
always
for
rough
nice.
around the edges. Things fly out of my mouth before I realize how it comes out, but it wasn't meaning anything bad.
They're used to
Mystical
us.
wouldn't be mystical if she weren't like that. We know what she means.
Yeah, so it was
You
just
people feel honoured. That's special.
You people are the best. Somebody
yeah,
had a
so
question about aliens, but it's went away off my screen. My screen's playing funny buggers,
I
guys.
had it right here a second ago, and I
It's
had to
there.
put the you people thing on there because it was funny. But so one of the hosts mentioned aliens. Do you think there's a connection between paranormal, alien, and cryptid connection? Oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh yes.
definitely a connection to all of it. So,
Yes.
Drew, we're gonna start with you. You wanna tell how you feel about
The
any of
thing
this,
is,
and then we'll ask
guys,
Sherry.
I never really thought that deeply about UFOs and aliens and things before. I never ever really did. I believed that there was something, but it wasn't until I started taking this path as well that you just realise how prominent the aliens are in our history. They're as far back as Egypt, they're as far back as hieroglyphics even been wrote. So yeah, I
Mhm.
definitely believe in it. And also the starseed side of things, I do believe there's something in that with us all people that's spiritually open. I do believe there's something about us all being a starseed or something. What? I don't know.
So, Sherry, I know Sherry's got a lot to say on that subject.
Yes.
Well, I am classed as a starseed, a Pleiadian starseed, and Lyran mixed. I have had UFO experiences, and I have had communication with extraterrestrial in other realms. Um, I find it really hard to talk about this because of the way I got treated.
Yeah, I
But
know.
yes, I do
Just be
believe in
confident.
aliens. I have experienced aliens. Aliens are very much connected to spirituality. And what you got to think is this universe and this world is all one thing that's connected. So whether we're here on Earth or we're up in the sky, we're all one thing, okay? Like we're all one massive energy. So, and I believe very strongly that extraterrestrial beings are part of the divine energies, okay? And I do believe they are part of the creators and stuff. It's just people have different concepts on what it is. Like our gods and goddesses and all these sorts of things are alien forms, even though they're called a different name, okay? And there are higher divine energies that are meant to have been directly associated with what you would class as a real ET, and they're meant to have been in influence with what we've done and how we are, and that's why they're visiting, because this world was once their world as well. That they were meant to have come down here and tried to educate us and help us, but we went too far and they had to leave. And yeah, very much spiritually connected. They
Hmm.
can do a lot of things that spirit,
Definitely.
like what you see in spirits, like that, like their invisibility. ETs can do that as well. They can go invisible. They can make things change. They can do things like spirit and energy does as well. They are very much in communication with the other side when you pass on as well. If you're an energy connected to them, they can take you to where you're supposed to be as well. So yeah, definitely. I'd be here for about five hours talking to you if I could about this UFO stuff, but no.
Yeah, I think they're all connected,
Yeah.
one way or the other, because since it's like a spiritual realm, a dimension, they can come, they can go. There's places that I won't mention one particular. Sherry and Drew will know the place that I'm referring to. That the
Yeah.
house had this big, huge, swirling black mist, and the head was above the house, top house area, with the eyes. Some people say it had horns. It's kind of hard to tell, but you could tell it was swirling. And at that same house, another time, and I don't think I saved the picture. I can't remember. My computer was bogging down with thousands upon thousands of pictures, and I had to go through and delete a lot of them, and I've accidentally deleted some of them. And there was an alien of the typical like gray alien that people describe. I caught it in the picture at the same house on the outside, only it was on the opposite side of the house than that black mist. So yeah, they're all intertwined,
Yes.
is my belief.
At
yes,
Tina says,
Phoenix
yeah,
on
put my
leave.
name down for a prayer. Yeah, that's fine.
So, alrighty, and we lost
It is
Drew.
fascinating. It is fascinating. It's different though.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really something that I feel 100% comfortable with talking about anymore after my experiences and stuff that happened in other places. So
Yeah. See, some of us sometimes, I mean, we'll throw stuff out there, and let you know, but sometimes we don't go into deep detail, because when you put everything out on YouTube, there's always some that's going to come back. And we're just giving our experience. That's what we're doing.
I have
our
got
opinions.
videos and stuff on my channel.
So
I've got videos on my channel to do with the ET stuff that I was doing, and I've got bits about starseeds and that if you want to go and look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't physically sit there and completely go into detail about it anymore. But I have got videos if you are interested in that.
Mm-hmm. And the answer, I put it up here because I don't even know how to pronounce it. Lady of Dre.
Yeah, they are.
I'm not even going to tear that name up. My apologies.
Lady of,
but
yeah,
I do believe.
I struggled on.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely believe that. Yes. So
yeah, they are among us.
Yeah. We've lost Drew, so I'm sure she'll come back. She'll come back in. Sometimes she's trying right now. Sometimes whether she's on her computer or her phone, she has
one of the places that are supposed to be very well known for having like ET life around it and in it is actually what is it?
Sorry guys.
Skinwalker Ranch. Skinwalker Ranch is meant to have alien life somewhere within it, and there's been a lot of stuff researched there. So yeah, that's a fascinating place for paranormal as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, let's see. I put this one up from Iron Fire Horse. Bless her.
So,
Phoenix. Phoenix says anyone else prayers got all those that applied. Here's Drew's. Sorry,
Tina,
guys, I disappeared. She said poof. We were talking about. We were talking about aliens and cryptids and UFOs, and Drew disappears just because she wanted to show everybody she was in charge.
That's not power, guys.
Yeah, Drew, when you were talking about the Egyptians, I thought about you yesterday or a couple of days ago, and you were doing your.
That's when I was doing the witch. When I was doing the witch name things out, and I said about the Egyptian faith, and she started doing the Egyptian dance.
You want to do? There you go.
Yeah.
So let's see here. We got any other questions or anything?
Thank you,
this is just the no.
I'm not seeing
chat,
anything at the moment.
Yeah, whatever anybody wants to ask or. And you got to excuse us three.
I would just like to say, guys, I would just like to tell you all this. See, when I started this journey, I never ever thought that it really was possible to communicate with spirits. I actually had a niggling feeling in my head that it was all just false. So I think at the beginning I was out to kind of prove to myself that I thought at the end that I would probably prove that it was all rubbish. But I think with the first experiences that I started to have, it convinces you more and more. And then the more you learn about that, the more you learn about something else. So all these things that you hear about dogma and lights and things, it all starts to be more believable because the more you research, the more you see things that are real, the more you're open to other things being real. So these things don't seem that far-fetched once you start down this path. So yeah, I believe they're all real, to be honest.
Yeah, and especially with us doing the crossovers, we know the spirits are there. We know they communicate with us. We feel them. Some of us,
Yeah.
like me and Sherry, we see them. Drew's learning to feel them too.
I
She's
can
learning
feel
when
them.
they're there. Yeah, so she's a whole lot more open,
Yeah.
now. So when people say there's no such thing as aliens, there's no such things as spirits, there's no such things as ghosts, I just say, okay, whatever. And I don't even
It's
waste
not
my
open.
time explaining anything to them
No.
because
Exactly.
until they experience something, that's when they'll start changing their mind.
Be
And sometimes they
careful,
got to
Anne,
see
if
it
you're
several
using
times.
data.
Yeah, so Pizza Demon
Exactly.
says East Yorkshire, Bimpton, lots of high straight, Bimpton, lots of high.
Bempton.
Oh, okay. Lots of high strangeness lights in and over the sea. Dogman, very weird. Well, the
I'll believe it,
sea is,
pizza. Mhm.
there's like portals all over in the sea, so there's always stuff going on in the
Water is
sea.
one of the strongest elements
Watch the
for
seas.
spirit
Yes.
Hmm.
communication and spiritual connection. Water. Why do you think you'll see a lot of the UFOs go into the water as well? It's all
One
spirit.
of your visions was on the water, Sister Sherry, wasn't it?
Say that
The
again.
craft. One of your visions of the craft
Yeah,
was in
but I
water.
was on top of the water and then I was under it and I could see this craft coming from underneath me and it's the lights first I could see like really bright lights and then it would come up under me and took me up on
Yeah,
top of the
believe
water
it.
and it was above the
Truly.
water. It was nuts. It
Yeah.
was crazy.
Hmm. Hmm.
See, people tell you that you're crazy. Don't speak about these things. But you've got to speak about these things. And these streams are a confident place to do that, guys. If there's ever anything that you've ever had an experience with and you have been scared to say it before, please use these streams for somewhere to air that.
And
Because
I have got
we'll never
channels.
laugh.
I have got videos on my channels to do with that. I've
Mhm.
even got where I've
Yeah.
actually got visions and I was drawing what I was seeing the ET show me. I've got weird things I've wrote down.
Yeah.
Hmm.
If you
So
want us
Kelly
to do a stream
says,
about it, ask. Maybe next week, Sister Sherry, or after Christmas, can do a stream about it if you would like. I know Mystical's been going to be talking about star seeds and things, and we've not done it yet. Do you want to do a bit
yeah,
about star seeds?
I've got one video up on my channel on it. I haven't done any more since then. Just I have for people that don't know me, I've got 50 things going on every single day, and I'm
Yeah,
doing 10 things at one time, and so I I have the tendency to want to put more stuff on, but I'm so busy. It's like getting to do it is a whole different ball game.
well,
So
these streams
Kelly,
are good then.
yeah,
Do
Kelly
it
says
here.
there's a guy in one of her groups that was a ranger of the national parks, and he was telling us about his experience with the skinwalkers. I will stay very far away. Thank you very much. Yeah, skinwalkers
Yeah,
aren't something. Now, a lot of people, okay, they're skinwalkers, yes, a lot of people will jump on the word skinwalkers, not really realizing exactly what they are, and being a native thing that they originated from, I believe.
yeah,
Um, but skinwalkers are not something to be messing with. So if you're out in the woods and you're hearing something that's calling you to it, yeah, my best bet is to say to get the crap away from there, because that's what they'll also do. Besides, they do have the ability to change forms. But if you're hearing your name, or you're hearing a baby, you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're hearing a baby crying, chances are it's trying to lure you in. And it could just, and so, yeah, just be very, very weary. And Iron also said, she says, I believe, Iron says, I believe they are there. I definitely don't believe most people's stories. I think people, and we can probably need to be open
Need
but
to be open,
skeptical.
but skeptical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
there's a lot of fake
yeah.
stories out there, though. I do.
Yeah, it's like the whole fishing thing. They caught a fish this big, but by the time they get home, it's this big. So you have to like listen to the people that you're comfortable with, that have a reputable, you know, just
People you
the whole
believe.
life,
My and you'll find that a lot of people that do that, their stories will change. You'll see something change, or like I can say that in all of my UFO talk, that like my story's never changed. It's always been the same way. If there is anything I've brought out, is stuff that I've done through doing my regression, because I went through that with a certain company.
Yeah,
to try and remember bits, you know what I mean? But my story's never changed. It's always been persistent, and it's not something I'm doing because I want to get big from it. I don't want to get big from it. I don't want attention from it. I'm just saying what I've experienced, and
most people are scared to talk about it, because people.
And I was when
don't
I
want
first
to
learned, but I
believe.
don't know. Right. But I got bribed and got told I'd be all right, and okay, yeah.
It takes a lot of courage to talk about things like
It does, and especially when you get told that it's not real after, like months later.
That. The only experience I had was with to London. Wow, pizza. See, we've had experiences with Hatman as well. He used to sit in my park, sit in the swing, and just watch me after I done streams with people that contacted them. I had went to the shop one day and a spirit went across the road, and I thought, what was that? And it wasn't until I was on the way back that I kind of thought I felt something sitting on the swing. And then one night I was sitting streaming in my front room, and I could look out onto my swing park, and I could see the swings moving, just one swing. And I had the spirit box on things, and through the communication with the spirit box, I got to know that he was watching me through the park. But I've never seen it. I've never felt anything there for a long time, so I think he's moved on. But that was after we kept talking about him a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, the H man.
Yeah. And Iron says there's a lot of wild
kinda get in my
animals that
house.
cry like human babies. Yeah, some owls, some wild cats. I mean, yeah, there are animals that do sound like it, and you can watch a lot of it. Me and Lee, we do this. We watch videos of like paranormal stuff and stuff that's being caught out on trail cameras and all of this, and they're like, oh, well, that looks like it's a cryptid, or it looks like, and Millie's like, no, it's not, that's an owl. And then he'll forward wind it, and we'll watch something else, and they're like, oh, well, that's a cryptid, and Millie's like, no, it's not, it's a person walking on, it's hunched
Foxes
over.
have got a really
you can clearly
cry.
see them, so yeah, you watch it and you are skeptical, but there are, if you see something, not just hear it, but actually see it clearly, not in a way that it's so blurry, that all of these come out and they're like so blurry, you're like getting a headache trying to strain to look through the woods to see a little black dot and go, that is not what that is. So yeah, being skeptical, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
No, not at all.
But the people that actually do see spirits knows when there's a spirit there. It's not going to be way out in the woods in the dark where everything is fuzzy and you take a picture and you can't see nothing. No, if you take a picture and it's there, chances are if they want you to see it, they're going to show itself. Which I do get a lot of those. They definitely want me to see them.
Yeah.
So let's see here.
Hatman Iron. I got the feeling it was him.
What are you reading? Let's see. Oh, Hatman.
Oh yeah, raccoons are really noisy. Yeah, raccoons are noisy. There's a lot of the wildlife really noisy, especially baby foxes. Baby foxes sound as if there's demons there. Honestly.
Yeah, they have strange noises. Strange noises.
Yeah. And that's just it. If you learn the area that certain things are in and listen to the sounds of them and get to know those sounds, that when you are out doing an investigation or something and you hear those sounds, then you can debunk it. So, because all of us will try to, if we see something or hear something, we try to debunk it first before, before we actually say what it is. Because then it makes people want to come back and watch your videos because they know you're just not bullshitting them just to get views.
That happened at Sherwood Forest. People were saying, "Oh, we heard like a woman screaming," and now I know it was a woman because I could hear it and that. Yeah, but people were going, "Oh, it's a fox," and that. And then it happened again. But the second time when it happened, I actually see her actually do it. I see her mouth open and she was screaming, and I was like, "No, it's not no fox because she's standing right in front of me, screaming."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's when you see me turn around with the guys and we're running through Sherwood Forest to get the hell away.
There's not usually much wildlife in those forests, to be honest,
No,
because the different darker energies, foxes and things won't go in them. Yep, there's hardly any birds
and stuff. You get your birds, you might get the odd badger or something like that, but nothing like major. Definitely not. I didn't see a lot of wildlife. Not at all.
I put this up here that Christy put, and I put it for a reason because it says, "Oh my God, Iron, I know. Heard some sounded like baby dinosaurs." Okay, the reason I put this up because I'm going to tell you a little story because people always say, and I've heard people say them in videos and what all. They say, "How come anybody doing investigations and stuff like that, or if they see spirits, how come nobody has ever seen dinosaurs?" I have clear as day.
Yeah,
and I was driving. I was driving from work here, and I'd already crossed the mountain coming. And for anybody that knows me, when I see spirits and stuff, sometimes the whole back scenery would change. Like if I time warped into another time. And I'm driving, and for the split seconds that it took where I'm driving, okay, you got the mountains here and here, and you're driving down the middle. The whole scenery changed. Like I'm driving and oh shit, there's no mountains. It's all like desert area. And here comes a freaking dinosaur running in front of me and crosses the path just from one end to the other end. And I was like, oh shit. And by the time it went across, then it changed back. Like I drove through that time warp and was back in my time again. And the only way I can describe that is those on Jurassic Park, and I'm trying to use something that somebody describe what somebody will know what I'm talking about. Jurassic Park, those really smart ones that was inside in the kitchen chasing those kids. No, not the dinosaur.
No, not the Rex.
Raptors. Yeah. It was like that, and it just the whole scenery changed, and it was running, and I'm driving, and it ran from one side all the way to the other side, and then boom, I was back driving in my time. So yes, I've seen them. Well,
she told us this, sis.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yes.
If I see that, I think I'd have stopped and probably caused a crash or went down the bloody embankment or something.
Yeah.
I would imagine starting to tell people. Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't a sound that I heard. I watched the whole freaking thing running past, and it was hauling it going past. I'm glad it wasn't walking slow. I would have wrecked.
I've seen loads of things, but never a dinosaur. I'd love to see a dinosaur. That'd be so cool.
I've seen all kinds of creatures, as y'all know. I've shown y'all pictures of all the different creatures and things that I've seen that are undescribable. But yeah, so when people say, how come nobody ever says they don't see a dinosaur? I'm like, I did. I was blessed with that vision.
Our mystical scene.
And what a vision that must have been, seeing that. You know what I mean? That must have been so cool. So close up to the car as well, going past the car, like, wow.
Yeah, like right in front. And it was just like the whole, like a desert, area that it was just clear as day. And I could see the dust, as it's running through, Yeah, it was just like, wow. I think I said more than wow at the moment. I was, because when
I'm
everything
sure
came
you probably
back,
like swearing and holy
yeah, because for that split time,
Hi,
you could
Stephanie
like run
says.
off the road or anything. Hey,
Hey,
Stephanie.
Curtis.
Oh, hey, Curtis.
Hi, Curtis.
Yeah, so that was like, that was just crazy.
I would have
So,
loved that.
yeah,
I
that was,
would have literally caused a crash. Or
well,
I'd have
and
chased it thinking, oh my
Right.
God, I'm taking it and go
I
off the
think I
bloody
would just
cliff.
go home
You
and
know what I mean?
yeah, I'm glad it happened that fast.
devastated.
Yeah, so let's try to catch up here. All right, so
Stephanie's
you have
joined us
last.
and Curtis has joined us. Welcome in.
Hello.
Yep, welcome in to both of you.
And Christina's
So,
in
Welcome in,
here. Hello.
Christina.
Hey, sis. The
so
spiritual
let's
realm
see.
is an amazing place, and you can see many, many things. And dinosaurs, obviously, because Sister Mystical see a dinosaur go right in front of a car. But I haven't had that pleasure yet. I hope it happens. I really do. So I think I'll be
Yeah,
standing there.
and I remember telling y'all when it happened too. Like when I was, was like, oh man, that was
It'd be
Hi,
like,
like
Christina
Drew when
says.
she
Hope
heard the
Uncle
tree
Danny's
talking.
doing better.
It'd be like Drew when she heard the tree talking for the first time. It'd be me in the
Yeah, I
bloody
was
place
in
going, oh my God, I see the dinosaur coming.
I knew it was a tree. I just knew it. I looked around when there was nobody around and I could still hear it. And I directly looked at the tree and I'm thinking, you're talking to me. I know you're talking to me. And I could hear it, but I just
Crazy
couldn't
when it
make it
happens.
out specifically. Yes,
Welcome,
I knew
Christina.
it was a tree. It was communicating.
I was so happy when you said it though, because I remember telling my story in that, and then sis, like, I think it was like a couple of months later, she come back saying, I heard a she come in the room. She was so excited about doing it.
Oh, yeah.
So I remember my first experience, like Sister Drew, like I was sitting on a bench just chilling in the middle of like some trees and stuff, and I heard somebody go hello, and I turned around thinking it was a spirit or somebody walking by, and there was nobody there. And I was looking, and I was like, I can't even see the spirit, because normally I'd see the spirit when they say that, you know what I mean? And I was looking. And I thought, nah, it's my imagination. Don't worry about it. Carried on, and I think I had a book, if I remember. I was saying, and I was just like looking at the pictures, and then I had it say it
I'm gonna
again,
go
and
check the fire.
I looked,
Okay,
and I was looking
sis.
around. I was like, who is that talking to me? I can't see you. Will you show yourself? And I was like sitting there, and I was like waiting for them to answer, and they said, look to your. It was either your left or your right. Look to your right or your left, and I looked, and I said, right, I'm looking to that angle. I said, and all I'm seeing is a tree. Are you telling me that's you talking? And it replied saying, yeah, it's me. Can you hear me? And I was like, oh my God.
I'm telling you,
You're
it's
actually
true.
talking to me, a tree. And he's like, yes.
Yes.
He goes, we can all talk to you if you listen. And I'm just like, oh my
Oh,
God. Like,
yes.
and I've always been
And
able to
every
do that.
time
Like,
I
I've always
walk
been able to
past
connect
there
with
now,
that.
every time I walk past that bit now when I'm coming home from the shop or somewhere, I look specifically at that tree and I think, when are you going to speak to me again? But I know it's going to be on its terms. But I know
Yeah,
it was
and I was a
talking to me.
lot younger then.
Yeah.
A lot younger. Like, I just remember sitting on a bench. I was innocent, just reading a book, and just started to, I just looked, I was like, who is that? Please show yourself. And like, because obviously I was quite younger then. And then when it said like look to your left or your right, and I looked, and it was the tree there. I said, are you talking to me? And they were
Yeah, I
like,
just got a
can you hear me?
knowing
And I
that
was like,
it
oh
was a
my God.
tree.
Like, I said,
Yeah.
they go, you have, and like, I remember sitting there, because I've always had connection with nature. I've always been able to hear the voices through nature when I'm walking through it. But then when you start physically hearing them actually one-on-one with you, it's like, wow. Like,
It's just, yeah, because you hear people doing it, but you never ever think it's going to happen to you, that you're ever going to connect that deeply. But I was just walking back from the shop, minding my own business, tittle-tattling along the road, and I could hear this female voice, but it was walking with me. And I'm thinking, where's that voice coming from? And my niece stays right at that house right there, and I'm looking up at my niece's house, and all the lights were off. And I'm thinking, who's speaking? And I looked at that, and I looked over at the tree line, and I felt the one beside me. And I
yeah.
thought, you're speaking to me. And it was. It was definitely communicating, but I just could not make the voice out.
No, you can't always,
One
because
day,
when you hear people say we hear like nature and when they talk to us, they automatically think that they talk to us like we're talking to each other. No, it's a completely different thing.
it's
Like, it sounds
muffled.
like very windy sounding, and you get that like,
Yeah, it's very
it's
muffled.
like it's all like it's weird.
Sometimes
If you think about it,
yeah.
it's in a different realm, really, isn't it? And you're kind
Yeah.
of connecting in and out. So I'll get it one day. I'll hear it.
Sometimes they'll talk to me in pictures. If it's
Yeah.
something, if they can't
Right.
figure, oh, his puppy's there. If sometimes if they trying to communicate and I'm not getting it, they'll send a picture so that I can figure
Not
out
this way.
more
Not this way. Not
better.
this way.
You know what it is. Hi,
Gosh.
pretty.
Come over here, David.
Yeah, so
Oh,
so a lot
yeah,
of
she's
mine
up.
will communicate that way. So
Like in a paw.
yeah, he loves you.
You give
Sherry,
them
what
an inch,
kind
they
of
take a
dog?
mile.
Sherry, what kind of dog is that? What kind of
He
dog is
is
Dash?
a staff cross Kelpie Australian working dog.
Okay, because I was telling Lee
Very
about him, and
strong
he said,
dog.
"What kind of dog is it?" I said, "A big one."
Yeah, this is him. Hang on.
Mine is a
big
border
one?
collie. She's cuckoo.
Yeah, he's so pretty. You froze
Yeah,
up
he's
now
very
that you moved your
protective.
camera.
He's very protective. Yeah, Curtis, he's a big boy. It's Sherry's baby.
So Curtis says, "Hey,
How's the kitty?
Mythical, how is your kitty? Oh, doing good. Sound asleep on the table in a box. I have a box up and I have a box down, and it gets into the one that's down and curls up inside of it on my.
Cats are like that though, aren't they?
Yeah. See, my kitchen table technically is not my kitchen table. It is a
Right.
kitchen table, but that's where I do all of my packing and stuff for all my shipping.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
like
have
that
all
one.
my papers, all of my tapes and all of that on there. So he's just kind of moved stuff and pushed stuff away to make him a spot. So
Yeah.
Sherry froze up. She'll
She'll be
back. So yeah. So let's see
It's
what
weird that
Iron
though.
says
Cats
here.
find the craziest of places just to curl up, don't they? Cats can
Yes.
curl up in a bowl if they
Yeah.
need to.
Yeah. Oh, and for those that don't know yet, Lee has changed his puppy's name since it had just been a week or so. He hadn't really learned his name yet because every time you call him, it takes a while, and he hadn't learned his name. So Lee was originally calling him Mighty Joe, but he didn't even respond. He could care less what you were calling him. So he changed it to Kodiak, like the Kodiak bears, because he looks like a freaking bear. So he named it a
does. He looks like
Kodiak,
a
and the
bear.
first time he called him by Kodiak, he's like, and he was looking at him like he liked that name more better. So we're gonna stick to Kodiak
It's a nice
the
name.
Kodiak brown
Kodiak's
bears.
nice.
So yeah. So okay. So Iron says I had a swamp beside my house and had put a perennial flower garden in that must have attracted it. It had is it burrows under
Burrowed
all the
under
mulch?
the
I would see the mulch move at night.
Right.
Thought it was my man's.
Your friend had a kelpie carer.
That's funny. She said, or portals.
Yeah,
Or
lady, which had a
portals.
cat that used to like doing things like
If
that.
you see something
Don't
fly
know.
out of it into the sky, then you know which one of the two that it actually was. Yeah. So
Yeah, I had a
Karen said
cat
my
the
friend
exact
had a
same. It would want to sit at the edge of the door. That's the truth. Cats are daft.
Oh, welcome in, Lady Witch.
Yeah, she came in a little while
likes to
ago.
sleep on top of the
Bedroom door.
LOL.
Yep.
I have no idea how she does it.
Yep.
So, Sherry's trying
Cats
to come.
are
There we
crazy.
go. Sherry's coming back. Welcome
There
back,
she
Sherry.
comes back. I think Dash must have knocked it out.
Yep. So.
Hey Drew, I hope you can make it Thursday at 6 p.m. Yeah, Curtis, we'll be there. We will be there, my friend. Curtis wants us to go on his channel for a little chit chat. 6 p.m. Did you mail the other sisters about it? Or have I just asked them for you?
Is he just inviting you, or are you just kind of throwing us in there with it?
No, we were talking on Messenger and he was inviting you as well. I think he said to Sherry about it on the stream the other night. And we were saying, yeah, we're the three amigos. Where one goes, we all go.
So is that 6 o'clock p.m.
Your
Eastern
time.
time
Yeah, your
or
time.
UK?
No, your time.
Okay,
It'll be
Eastern,
11
6 o'clock
here.
p.m. Eastern. Oh, okay. What is it gonna be about?
I think he just wants to interview us and just say a bit about ourselves and things. Isn't it, Curtis, just really introducing herself? Just letting his community get to know us. He'll have questions for us, no doubt.
Oh, okay, so Iron says, I just went to Curtis' channel and make sure the bell was dinged and I wasn't even subscribed. Yeah, we're finding
Alright.
that out a lot too
You may
on a
be
lot of
wearing
our
YouTube's
channels.
took it off you. They take it
Yeah.
off you within a couple of weeks if you don't watch a video.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really bad for that.
You really have to watch a video for 3 minutes, like it, and comment before you get to keep the subscription.
And I didn't know, and Christina from Christina and Son Go Squad, she mentioned this. I started paying attention to it. On the views, you can actually, when you click to watch a video, take note of the views immediately, and it'll have the amount of views. But as you're watching it and so much time goes by, it clicks over to another view. It means it picked you up. So if you click off of it too soon and that view doesn't roll over, then they don't get the views for the time that you watched. I didn't. I knew you had to watch it for a certain time.
3 minutes.
I never thought to look at that view, how it, if it says 10 views, so you keep watching it and then it'll click over to 11 views and then you know that it picked you up. Yeah, I did not know that, and she was telling that on her channel, and I was like, I'm gonna pay attention to that.
My boy's on the floor, Curtis, because he knocked the lead out. I can't have him on the bed when I'm doing the live because if he knocks the laptop turns off as it did. So yeah, he's on the floor.
Definitely, Kara. I think he'll probably sleep forever.
And,
Not me forever, but I mean for a long time. It's because they're so energetic. That's right, the Malamutes. Beautiful.
She's going on fire duty.
Yes.
Oh no, she's back. Oh, she's getting baby. Merlin.
Smack myself in the head with this. Don't push no
Merlin.
button.
I was laughing at him the other day because when we was on stream, he was looking up at the ceiling and that. Like,
he was.
I was like, that's what I was giggling at on the show the other day.
Merlin.
Look, he sees things. You do realise that, like.
Yeah, I mean, when you said that, the first thing he did.
Look, he's doing it now. Look, he always does it in that corner.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's so cute.
Looking around.
Yeah.
He's most definitely your familiar because he's so connected to you. Even that day when you was on the grass and he was following you around the fence and everything.
Yeah.
And he listens to you. When you call him or talk to him, he sits. It's like he's listening. He understands what you're saying. It's really weird.
Yes.
It's really cool.
I know
He's chose you.
And when I call it, when I call him, he's getting tangled up in my thing. When I call him, he comes right to me. So I mean, it's like if he's been here, forever. So that's weird too. But,
Yeah, he definitely listens to you. Look at that time when you told him off about going over that fence thing, and you told him you weren't allowed to go up all of the plant, and he ain't done it ever since, has he? He's like stayed away from it. He won't be staying there if you go over that again, and he didn't. He jumped. They cleared the fence apparently.
Yeah, I'm like, you will not be welcome here if you make one hole. Lee just put that up, and that's an expensive tarp.
Mr. Lee will kick your butt.
Right over the fence. Here's the tarp, and here's the tarp. Right, and then the gates in the middle. Lee was sitting outside on his chair, and Lee said he just went straight up and cleared that, and then yeah, I'm like, you are not going to be welcome if you make a hole in that thing.
Yeah, he's lovely.
When I see him with Sister Mystical, it reminds me of my Maddie that I had. She's like really fluffy like he was, and she was exactly the same with me. It was really cool.
She looks like
and she would look and watch things. Yeah. I used to call her my little mystic. I like to see things, don't you, baby? You're like, Mum.
Very connected.
It
does look sweet. You have 4 cats, wow.
And I'm not even a cat person. I have never been a cat person. Never. But there's strays outside that the neighbor left because she was mean and cruel. Not the neighbor now. So if the neighbor now ever watches my videos, it's not you. I'm not talking about you. You're cool.
I'm not talking about you. You're cool
people. But yeah, the ones that lived there before that let her dogs chase the cats and everything else that were her cats and left them behind and everything like that. So those cats are all out there, and you know, I'm not gonna let the cats go hungry because
I know, it's not their
you know,
fault.
because of her stupidity and cruelty and
Yeah.
you know all of that. Even Lee reminded me today, isn't it? Because I'll put food out there. What's a second? Don't you dare!
Oh, he's
Don't
up on the
you
statues.
dare! Get
Next to the
down!
statues.
Get down!
Watch your head, Archangel Michael.
Yeah. He's going and studying. He's
He
having
might
a
be
look.
knocked over on his head, might roll.
Hey, look where all the plugs go into that
Oh, the
computer
plugs, I thought it was the
box
statues.
thing. Yeah, now he's just here in my spot. Look, can I have my
Oh, he
spot
wants to
back?
live stream. Put the headphones on him.
He watches my phone. If I put something on my phone and sit the phone, prop it up in front of him, he'll sit there and he'll watch the phone.
You can get apps for cats for
Oh,
the
look.
tablet, and you sit and watch the tablet and cat like a little ball and things. Never
That's
used
so
to
cute.
have an app for the cats.
But
Yes, definitely, I.
I didn't want him to get tangled up in them wires over there because if they heat unplugged them, I would
Special cats
never
know
know
how
how to put them back.
Go around.
Okay, Curtis, thank you for coming in. Love and light.
Blessings,
thank you,
brother. We'll
Curtis.
see you Thursday.
Blessings. Bless
Just
me.
send me the links.
So,
I'll send them to the sisters.
When's that?
Thursday,
Thursday.
6 p.m. his time.
That's 11 us, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kelly said, what day is that? That's not on a. Okay, because the
Thursday.
30th.
This
No,
Thursday.
it's not. It's this Thursday.
Okay.
2 days away.
Okay, so because the 30th we got to take the pups to go get their other shots. I told Lee we're gonna have to
Right.
get them in the vehicle and drive them around a little bit for like 15 minutes, and then come back and do that for a couple of days because they
Okay, well,
they
I'll
don't
find
know
you.
nothing about riding. And the last time they were like, bleh, bleh, bleh. One would do it, the other one would do it. The other
Exactly,
one would do it,
I am.
that one would do it. And we had them in the tubs, and I had a whole box of puppy pads. So every time they went, bleh, I was taking another one out and putting it down so they would get on the clean one. Bleh. And I was like,
Oh, no. Do too well with
so when we had to go
Blue.
in, Lee picked up one side of the tub, I picked up the other side of the tub, and we just carried them in like that. And I said,
I can
they're
imagine.
in there because they've been throwing up, crossing the mouth.
I think he's on about you going up there on your own, sis, because he's saying that he'll get hold of me and Mystical for another time.
Yeah, he wants you by yourself. Let me put that
Oh, you
up
just
here.
wanted me up?
Yeah,
I
he
thought
just
we were
wants
saying
you
that.
up.
All right, okay, no problem.
Yeah. So whenever you get a hold of me in the future, Curtis, plan on having Drew or Sherry with me because I don't go alone.
Yes.
Same with me. I don't want to be on my
I
own.
thought we were talking the other night on the stream and we were saying we were the three amigos. But no,
Yeah, I
that's
don't
fine. If
really
that's the
wanna
way
go
you
on
want to
an
do it,
interview
I
on my
don't
own either.
mind. Yeah. I know he's starting to do the interviews, so you'll probably get you guys separate as well. Except for Mystical. Mystical only does.
Mystical does what? I missed it.
I said, he's probably going to get us all up individually. I says, except for Mystical. She'll be wanting us.
Yeah, I don't do by myself. No.
I
So it's like
wouldn't do it on my
She
own
will
either.
one day.
Yeah. But thank you anyway. All puppy travel sickness, yeah. And that was the first time ever being in a vehicle, and they got sick. And this one here, when it come up, and I didn't know what it was or how friendly it was or anything, and I was like, well, you look like you need a name. I said, are you a boy or a girl? Well, I wouldn't pick it up yet because I didn't know if it's going to be friendly. So I just slid my hand up under its tail to see what I could feel. I was like, oh, it's a boy. It didn't seem to bother him any.
I didn't think you could get high off raw cannabis. Is there any other kind?
I don't know nothing about that stuff. I couldn't answer nothing. What did I miss?
thought it was all
Somebody
natural.
talking about it?
Iron says, I didn't think you could get high off raw cannabis. I don't know what's been getting said in chat. I don't know, guys.
I don't know, but if anybody's wondering,
Yes,
I'm
the
still
catnip
holding
and the
Merlin, so
cats.
Merlin's keeping me warm. That's the reason
Yes.
I'm still holding him.
My mum has
So,
got a cat. Well, it's actually my daughter's cat. Its name's Ruby. And if you put catnip down to it, it rolls around in it and it has it all in and out its fur. It has to roll around in the catnip before it eats it. So I don't know what it does to them.
well,
Catnip's
catnip doesn't
strange.
affect people like that. If anybody's
No, not people.
wondering.
Cats,
No.
yeah.
No, because I have on my
Drives them
channel
cuckoo.
on one of the medicinal tincture things, and one of the ingredients is catnip.
Yeah,
So, but it doesn't
Yeah.
affect, because it's
they
actually very
do.
common for people to help settle them down, their nerves and stuff like that. For people.
Right.
They go crazy for a little while and then they go to sleep.
So,
Yeah.
Does
Is
anybody
there any
have
more
any
questions, guys?
questions?
We've got great minds. Great
Oh,
minds.
bless you. He just sneezed. Yeah, does anybody have any questions? If not, we'll let everybody go. We've been on an hour and 20 minutes, now an hour and 21 minutes. So,
Yeah, Kerry, they're funny. Have you ever watched, and now this maybe sounds a bit sick, guys, and I don't mean it to be sound sick, but have you ever watched on YouTube where it's dogs that's been stung by a wasp on the face? There's
I
some
had
of the
one that got
videos
bit on
are
the inside of their
so
lip before.
funny, it's unbelievable, and I'm sorry for that. I know it's not very nice to laugh at them being hurt, but it really is funny videos. Me and Zach were watching them last year, and wow, they're so funny. Just when you said about cats.
So, and it's not to change the subject really quick, but I have a question on anybody has cats, because I'm not a cat person. This cat, whenever it scratches like this on the ear, it says, is that normal, or does it have something in its ear?
It could be
So,
duck,
Possibly. It might have like a little infection, or maybe like sometimes they can get
a bit
little.
of duck in it.
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't
Normally
know
that's
if,
the sign when they make a noise when they're doing it. It's just that it's a little bit tender. Yeah, I mean, because the dogs do it as well when they've
Yeah,
got a sore ear. If they do it, they like yelp, don't they? Because it's
yeah.
Ian
tender.
Knight
Well,
Cyrus
Yeah.
I've
says,
never had a
yeah, I would
dog do that
definitely look it up.
either. Iron
And
says
spit
she
and
would say
check,
ear
but
mites.
it might be all
Yeah.
right. It might just be a very noisy cat when he scratches his
I'm
ear.
trying to think
But
what dog it
Yeah.
was I had.
When
I think it
I
was
go to
Jem,
the
my
when
dog
I
Jem. I
take,
used to have to clean her ears out.
yeah, they
yeah, I bet
yell.
this one,
They're like,
Just cleaned
yeah.
them. Yeah, like cotton
So
bud.
when I go
Yeah.
get the shots, when we take the pups to go get the shots, I'm gonna ask them about the
To look at.
cat and
because you got the
Yeah.
mites as well. You can get the mites that they get in the ears as well, which can make it
yeah.
quite
Could
Check
be.
if
uncomfortable.
there's
But just
black
Yeah.
in
check.
the
It might
ears.
be nothing. It might just be that he's a noisy scratcher.
Be
You know
just
what
a
I mean? And
little
he's
bit
just
of duck
enjoying it.
or
But
something.
I'm gonna put the somebody says see it that's black in the ears.
Check if there's black in
yeah,
the
if it's
ears.
black in the ears, it's mites. That's what they are. Like, can you see anything black in the side of his ear?
That gives me the heebie-jeebies, things like that. Do you want to know what I really hate? Ticks. Oh,
Oh my god, don't. When they get
oh, I
stuck in
hate
their
them.
heads and stuff like that, and you have to get a
Okay.
plier to get it out. Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
no.
burn them out. Oh no.
Okay,
Oh,
so
give me the heebie-jeebies.
I
one
set fire
ear.
to them as well. That's the
Oh,
only creature I do. But they're horrible.
Neither
oh.
You have to do that though,
Hate
because
them.
they'll attach to the animal.
Yeah,
Neither
you've got
one
to
of
burn them
the
out your
ears are
dog and things.
black. Neither one of the ears are black, but one of the ears has like right at the opening a little bitty red spot.
That
Little
might be
bitty
what
Oh,
it is. He
bitty.
might keep catching it or something. That might be from where he's scratched though. He might have caught it by
yeah.
accident.
Yeah, 'cause it's like
Got a bit of
right at the
eucalyptus on it.
opening. It's red.
To
I
me,
would
it
think.
sounds like he might just be a noisy ear scratcher. You like,
You put eucalyptus on cats. I know you
But
can't on
his
dogs.
ears actually look very, very clean in there.
if you're
Yeah.
worried and
Other
he
than
keeps
that
doing
red.
it, just take him to the vet sis just to make sure. But
Kerry
Well,
says she uses cotton buds.
cotton buds, yeah, cotton buds are good to clean the ears out. Yeah.
okay, yeah, I'm gonna ask them and see if they'll just. I don't know if they will or not because technically this is, the cat wandered up here. It's not like
Christy's
I got
asking,
any
is there a
kind of.
squeaking sound?
Is it what a
Is there a
squeak
squeaking
is?
sound?
What, when she scratches? She just says.
Yeah, Lady Witch, it's maybe just he's getting
She
right
just.
into scratching.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
She
he's
likes
maybe
to
just enjoying
making
it.
lots of noise when she's scratching. She gets in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree,
Yeah.
lady.
And it's like right at the opening. It's a little bitty, tiny, like pinkish red dot.
Yeah, I don't think my cat's
And the other ear,
particularly
but it's
thinking
not black
back. Dogs,
inside.
yeah.
The ears don't smell.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
think it'll be
good.
okay then, sis.
She ain't got mice
Probably
then.
just a little.
Hmm.
Probably just a little. Oh, their sister Sherry's now been kicked off.
Oh, yeah.
They did it to me.
So, she said,
Yeah, there's
yeah,
lots
a lot
of
of
wax with
actual
ear
mice.
mites, Christy
Yeah,
says. I think he
actually, and
must be
his ears
okay.
look really
Maybe
really
hair.
clean.
Yeah, it's maybe a hair or
So
something
maybe
that's
if they just
annoyed him.
give me some, I can just like put a like a drop in there or something, in there.
Yeah.
'Cause
Especially if he's
Because
letting you
I don't
touch
like
it.
I don't like getting I don't like getting anything for any animal from any doctors or physicians or anything that I don't know exactly what
What it is.
ingredients
I
are
don't blame you.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
don't
why
blame
like
you.
my flea and tick spray and stuff, I make my own,
Yeah.
the spray to put on them. It works good for people too. I can't remember. I put it on there. I think it's good for. I can't remember if it's good for dogs and cats or just dogs. I'll have to look because I did the video and
Have a
I'll say it
look.
in the video because it's been a while. Oh,
It'd be
Sherry's
good for
back.
your
Let me get
Scottish
her back.
midges.
Oh,
On a live.
sorry, Sherry. You're
Hi,
back now.
sis.
I was
Hello,
busy
sis.
yapping.
My
Well,
godmum
yeah.
rang me and cut me off the bloody live.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, yeah. My phone does that if I'm on the
They don't normally do that though. That's
Well,
really
no, I
weird. I'm not
wanted to get
on
that
on my
parcel
laptop.
sent to you.
So Carrie says he's
When do you
probably
go
just
away, Sister
shouting out
Sherry?
himself or really enjoying the
23rd.
scratch.
You tell me in private if you don't want to do it. Say it that way. Right, okay.
Okay, you're getting tangled up over here. Okay,
Yeah, I can definitely get that to you before you go away. I'll post
Yeah.
it tomorrow.
Oh,
First class.
okay. So, does any is that?
I'm busting for the loo, guys. I'm just being honest. I'm busting for the loo.
So, does anybody have any questions or anything? And if not, then we'll let everybody go.
Oh, it's maybe a
Trisha says
spider
maybe a
bite,
spider
Christy
bite
said.
then. Yeah. Oh,
Is,
okay.
is
That's something
cats
to
allowed
think
to use
about.
eucalyptus? Because I was thinking you could get a bit of eucalyptus on a cotton bud and just rub it on that little spot on his ear.
I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. I have somewhere in my books that I write down in my grimoires what's good for cats and what's good for
Yeah. Because I know eucalyptus is really good for getting rid of a spot. As soon as it's there, put a bit of eucalyptus on it and it goes away straight away. So I'm thinking about a bit of eucalyptus on his little spot on his ear. But it could be a bite, Christy, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a bite or he's caught it.
Kelly's laughing at the random topics covered today.
That's what
That's what the mishmash shows are for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're giving everybody the opportunity. Anybody got any more questions? So
crazy.
Yeah, we always end up talking about everything toward the end. But yeah, I have in my book what's good for any essential oils that's good for dogs and any that's good for cats because I see and like
I agree.
Dogs, I'll do their have them go for their first 3 sets of shots, but I don't believe in having the boosters and all of that because with my research that I've done and some vets that I've talked to that don't follow like what they're being taught there, it's what they also know that they've said that after the first 3 initial shots, the boosters don't do nothing because they're already protected. They're protected, so the booster is putting more chemicals into their bodies that they don't need. So all of my, dogs that I've ever had, I've never gone beyond the first 3. And look at Velvet, she lived for 14
there you
years.
go,
And
sis,
for a toy schnauzer, you know, that's a lot of years for a toy schnauzer.
my dog's not had any hurt jags.
So
She's a
yeah,
collie. She's a Scottish collie. She'll survive, believe me.
yeah,
She survived the plague, that one.
yeah. Now
Yeah,
it's
my boy had his
required.
first 3 and that's it.
Yeah, now it's required that they do have to have a rabies shot, and I will do the rabies shot because of all the wildlife that's
Yeah,
Oh,
they
they
do.
had the
here.
jags before
Yeah.
they left the farm with that
So
one, yeah.
yeah, so
But as for
I
the other
will
jags,
have
I've
to
not
do that
got
one.
them.
Yeah. Alrighty, so everybody, we're gonna let everybody go. I don't see any more questions in there, and so I thank everybody for coming in. If you haven't hit the like already, please hit the like. And if you're not subscribed to all 3 of our channels, please do. And if you wish to subscribe to anybody else in the chat, go for it, because that's what we're all about, is spreading all the information that we have on
Anything
all
to
of our
support
channels. Yeah, yeah. So, and thank you, Lady
Right
Witches,
back
and
at you,
love and
Lady
blessings
Witch.
to everyone. So,
Right back
Love
at
and
you,
light,
thank
Lady
you.
Wench. Thank you. Love and light, everybody.
alrighty.
If we don't see
And
any of you before next week, have a good Christmas, and remember, enjoy you. Enjoy it. Enjoy spending time with family. Enjoy the feeling that it gives you to give a gift. Cherish that, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Okay?
Have a special time.
Yes.
thank you, everybody, and bye.
That's another
Blessings.
night. Bless be.